This is my automated Resipound Farm, and it will help me complete the second tier of the AMPP event in no time. So let me show you how it all works. But first, here's the recipe for Resipound. To craft one, you'll need silicone and plastic. For silicone, you're gonna need quartz, methane and resin. And then for plastic, you're gonna need compound and carbon. Once you've crafted one Resipound, you basically have 15 points for the AMPP event. But we need a lot more points than that, so that's why I'm gonna build this automated farm that will get us a ton of Resipound. Now we should start with the auto extractors. So we've got auto extractors for resin, compound and quartz. The quartz one is actually in the caves, so we are gonna use a train system for that. I've got some stations here and I'm gonna show you how to automate that as well. We'll start off with the plastic because it's easier. For plastic, we're gonna need carbon and compound. We've got tappers to get some organic, and then we're gonna use smelters to turn this into carbon, and then we'll get the compound from right here. So we've got two auto arms here, and these will be responsible for grabbing all of this organic here. I'll actually place an organic in their selector slot, so this should be able to reach in there. And then we're gonna have another platform with some smelting furnaces. So there we go, and these reach into there. I've got them connected to power as well. We've got these power platforms, which should provide enough power for this whole thing. And then we'll have another auto arm over here to grab the carbon, and this will place it into a platform with a chemistry lab. So let me set this up as well. Okay, so here it is. We've got the chemistry lab. I'm gonna set it on plastic and on repeat. And this will basically get filled with carbon, this will get filled with compound, so the plastic will come out in front, then we'll have another auto arm grab it from here. But before we get to that part, let's unpack the auto extractor for the compound. And I'll place it in a spot where the green bar is higher up. That means we're gonna get compound faster. I have to connect this to power as well, so let me just grab some extenders. So here we go, we've got power in here now, so we can turn this on already. And then we'll use another auto arm to grab this. And then we'll just transport it all the way over there with multiple auto arms. I could also use some T platforms for this, but the A ones are okay. Okay, so here we have it. We've got all of these auto arms set up. Now I'll just set some compound in their selector slots just to be sure, but they shouldn't really have anything else to collect from here. And this will set the compound into this slot right here. This is set on repeat, so it will just craft plastic, and then we'll just take it from here. So plastic was pretty easy. Now it's time for the silicone. This one's a little bit harder. So let's get started on that quartz. We're basically gonna need two train stations, one here and one right next to the quartz node. Because the resin deposit is right here, I'll just set the train station right next to it. So we'll get our quartz in here, and then we can combine both of them into another chemistry lab here for the silicone. And now we'll need to connect this, and we'll have to bring it around this side so we don't get in the way of our Resipound production, which will be over here. So I'll just go around with it. And then we'll use a rail car with a storage on it, and we'll set a storage sensor to make it automatically go between these two train stations. So that's a pretty interesting setup. It basically leaves the base empty, and then it goes to the node where it gets filled up, and the sensor senses when it is full. So it will come back full, and then it will leave everything at the base and go back to get more. That's the short version, but you'll see exactly how I do it in just a second here. Okay, so here we have it. We'll set the train station right here. But right now, let's unpack this auto extractor that I've already carried down here. And let me find a place. Okay, so down there, I think that's better. All right. So we'll have an auto arm that will load everything onto the train station. And we'll also have to connect everything to power. So let me just go ahead and grab that train station as well. Then we'll connect everything and we can turn on the auto extractor as well. Here we have our rail car. I'll set a storage on it. And we'll need some medium storages as well. This will basically be able to carry 32 resources at a time. So there we go, and then we'll have a storage sensor. This will be set to full or empty, so both green arrows should be on, and then we'll link it to the car. Now I just sent it manually to go all the way down there. And then we'll set this station. This should be unload stopped cars. So we will unload all of the quartz here. And then the other station from down in the caves will load stopped cars. So that should be pretty easy. Okay, so here we are. Let me just get rid of this. And we can unpack it here. So that's great. Now we've got power as well. I'll connect it just like that. And I don't have any extenders on me, so I'll just use a platform here. Okay, so we have power to the auto extractor now. I'll just turn it on. We'll get quartz up here, and then I'll set one in the selector slot of this auto arm. Now for the most important thing, we need to set this to load stopped cars. So this will be loaded with quartz, and then it will leave, and when it reaches the base it will be unloaded. Great, we've got the quartz. I'll just set it here. We can turn on this auto arm now. This will fill it up with quartz, and we'll just see it come to our base while we build the resin auto extractor. So while we wait for that, I'll just unpack this here, and let's see. Well, that's not really that high. I thought it would be a little bit higher because we've got a ton of resin here, but I guess that's it. All right, so we'll have it right there. I'm gonna have another auto arm grab the resin. Now I think I can get rid of these, and I'll just connect it through this auto arm. I also turn this on so that we get some resin before our quartz comes back. Okay, so we get the quartz, we get the resin. Actually, we need something to get the quartz off of there, so let me get another auto arm. I think we can get rid of this one too, and we'll just go through here. Yeah, alright, so this will get quartz off of there. We have one resin for this, we can turn this on. A fractal rose was in our way, but I'll just plant it over here. We've got some really nice decoration around our farm. Okay, so now we need a platform with another chemistry lab, and then we'll set up the atmospheric condenser as well. Okay, so we have this chemistry lab, and this will do silicone. I'll set this on repeat. So basically, we've got the resin on this side and then quartz on this other one, and that's gonna get our silicone through here. We still need the methane, but this will get our silicone through here, and then we'll grab it. We'll also grab the plastic, and we'll place them both on a separate platform where we'll actually craft the Resipound. We also need the atmospheric condenser, as I said. I'll just place this in between here, and we'll just connect it like that. I'll set this to methane, put it on repeat, so there we go. And then we'll have another auto arm right here, and this will put the methane right in the middle of this platform. We need to connect this one to power as well. Okay, so there we go. So this will just take the methane from there, and it will place it here. That means we have all of the ingredients to get our silicone. We've already got the plastic going, and then we can craft our Resipound. Okay, so this is gonna be the platform where we actually craft the Resipound. I'm gonna have two small printers here. We'll set them both to Resipound and on repeat. So there we go. And then we'll need some medium storages on there as well. So this is how we'll set it up. This is already putting plastic in here. We just need to get this one to power as well. And then we also need another auto arm to get the silicone. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm still waiting for the quartz. I think that's still not done. We might need even more power, but that's okay. I'll just run around and get some more power items. Just adding yet another auto arm on this side so that we can grab the finished Resipound. Of course, I'll set a Resipound in the selector slot because we don't want to grab anything else. Alright, and then we'll have a platform with the EXO request platform on it, and we also need a medium resource canister. Here we have it, so I'll throw this on top. I'm not going to set up any kind of automation to automatically send these because I don't think that's possible. Anyways, if we get 32 Resipound, that's basically more than enough to complete the second tier. So we will realistically only need to send it once. But yeah, let me just double down on this auto arm here. We'll have two of them to grab the Resipound, just to make sure it doesn't stay on the ground for too long. We don't want it to glitch through anything. And I'll move this a little bit closer. Yeah, so there we have it. I'll go check on the ports, see why it's not coming. Maybe we'll need another auto extractor on there, because that auto extractor down there seems to be the weakest link of the whole farm. It's the slowest. And while I check on that, I just wanted to tell you that in the next episode, I'm actually gonna expand this farm and I'm gonna make it into an Automaton Farm, so that's gonna be pretty interesting. Alright, so everything is working as intended here, it's just really slow. I'll just have to get another auto extractor there so it can work twice as fast. Actually, I just realized we don't really need that much quartz at one time. We can just wait for it a little bit longer, so we can just take these off. Okay, this way we only need one more quartz and it will be full. The sensor will trigger it and it should head up. So I'll wait for it just to see it works correctly. And then I have to run before it. Yeah, so here it goes. I don't think I'm fast enough. But I also want to see it unload at the base. We are racing the cart filled with quartz. So it doesn't have 32 quartz, but it has 8 plus, what is that, 6. So it has 14. We actually made it before the cart, so we get to see it unload. And then once we have one of each resource, I can turn these auto arms on as well. Right now they are turned off, so they don't grab something they shouldn't. So here comes the cart. Let's see if everything works as intended. I really hope everything's in place. Okay, so we'll just have a quartz here. Now I can turn this one on and we start unloading. Alright, so silicone is being crafted. We are unloading this as we craft the silicone, and once it's completely empty it should head back. But now we have a silicone, so let's turn this one on as well. And when we get the next one, we should start getting our first Resipound from the farm. How many points do we need for the second tier? So we'll get a respirate mask for 480, but we already have 160. So that's 320 points. Yeah, that should be good. Okay, so we have a Resipound here. I don't think we need 2 auto arms, so I'll just turn this one on and we'll wait for the next Resipound. Okay, here we go. Let's see if this puts it on the thing. Okay, so there we go, it's starting to fill these up. So that's great, the farm seems to be working nicely. Now the last thing I need to check is if this goes away when it's empty. So we'll see that in just a second, but everything else seems to be in place. We are getting Resipound here. We are definitely getting the plastic very, very fast. Way faster than the silicone, but that's okay. We also seem to need a little bit of extra power just to make this work a little quicker. I'll probably get another platform on here with some more power items. So we need 320 points, that's 22 Resipound I think. So let's see how this goes. Okay, so we are at the last quartz. I just want to see if this automatically goes away. Yeah, it does. In the meantime, while the farm does its job, I'll do mine and I'll get some more power items and also another auto extractor for the quartz. Yeah, we definitely need more power. Look at the speed of this cart. That's embarrassing. But jokes aside, I really want to see the reward for this second tier, and then I'm really excited for what we're gonna do in the third one. But I'll let the farm run for a little bit and then I'll show you once it's done. I think we're almost done here. I also added this platform to get more power into the base. I also brought another auto extractor and I'm gonna place this next to the quartz there in the caves just to make it a little bit faster. But let me see, we've got 14 plus 8, that should be 22. Yeah, so we are over the threshold for the second tier. I'll send this and then we'll see how the respirate mask looks like. And I'm really excited about this mask. There it is, we got it. Let's see how this looks. So that's the respirate. That looks pretty cool, especially with the hat we got for the first tier. Let me change the palette just a little bit. I want to see how this looks with some different palettes here. This one looks good with the red. Okay, I like this mask and I like that you can see the visor through it as well. So we might choose a different visor for this outfit just to have it all black and red. I really like this. I like the look of that. So I'm gonna wear this mask for the rest of the event. It's pretty cool. And I just need to make some small adjustments here, like get that bar up. We might need an extra auto extractor for resin and an extra one for the compound as well, just to make this farm go faster. We also got some items here. I think I'm just gonna shred most of these, but that's still pretty good. Now we need to complete the third tier, for which we'll get the scrap wrap, but for this one we need a ton more points, so that's why we are gonna use the automatons. An automaton requires 1 Resipound and 1 diamond, so that's a good thing we already have a Resipound farm over here. So in the next episode I'm thinking of building a diamond farm, maybe in this part here, and then we'll have them all come together and craft the automatons, so then we can send those. Each automaton is actually 48 points, so that's a lot. After we complete the third tier, we'll still need to complete the secret tiers, which will get us the chips from the C model. Those are pretty interesting, we don't know anything about them yet, but I'm really excited to build the farm and then unlock those as well. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos. But that's it for this video. Cheers, Astroneers!